Alright folks, welcome back to Fat Rock Cubes, and today we're talking about the GAN 16. Alright, so I have had this for a little while, tried it out, did some things with it, but we're going to go over what comes in the box and then we'll get into the cube. So first we're going to talk about what comes in the accessories box. There is a bag in here. It is different. This is a black bag and it is a different material. I think I like it a bit better. I'm not the biggest fan of the fuzzier bags, so this is nice. I think this will be a little bit cleaner. And then it also comes with a manual, probably I imagine to tell you about, tells you about all of the settings and how to adjust those. It also comes with a new adjustment tool that I honestly, I don't know where that is. Because I've pulled that out and used it. I have no clue where the adjustment tool is at the moment, but it does come with that. Also, we get this card that actually serializes the cube, which honestly, not necessary, but I think it's super cool to serialize the cube. I have number 27,777. Crazy to think that there's that many GAN 16s, probably a lot more out there, which is kind of wild if you think about it. And this is the top half of the box. It looks pretty cool. But more importantly, we need to get into the cube. Here it is, the GAN 16. Also worth noting, inside the box, as they've done previously with some other versions, we do have the other foot magnets in the bottom of the case, which I think is cool because I don't have to... it'd be really cool if they built a case that had like a little drawer on the bottom so I could put the adjustment tool and the magnets in there. I think that would be even cooler. It'd be a little taller, but then I don't have to like carry around two separate things. Maybe an idea, throwing that out there for GAN. Maybe I don't know, that could be cool. Anyways, here's the cube. Here is the GAN 16. Do some turns. It's very quick. What's interesting about the GAN 16 is this is the first time in a while they have actually changed the piece design. So let me see if I can get a piece out of here without breaking anything. All right, so what's interesting is we now have what looks to be a double torpedo kind of system here. The inner ones are quite smaller though. What's interesting though is we now have a center skirt, and with that center skirt actually there is magnets here, if you can see that circle, and then there's actually a magnet inside the side of the center skirt. That is very interesting technology. There is only one other cube that does that right now, and they happen to both come out at about the same time. We have the GAN 16 and the Meta 3 by YJ. The only two cubes that I know of that have that new magnet technology, and it makes for a quite unique feel. And with the design changes, it does happen to bring this closer to like a similar design as the V11. The Waylong series uses the center skirts. But the only the big difference is those extra magnets, and it feels pretty good out of the box. It's a little bit difficult to use. I don't have the... Hold on, let me go find this piece. Aha! I have found my adjustment tool. I'm throwing things. So this is the new adjustment tool. You pop this down. The center cap should come off. I think it's a little less reliable than the old one, to be completely honest with you. But as you can see, we have a new look to the adjustment system. I wish the camera would focus on this a little bit better. But basically, you have 6 options here, and then you have 12 options down here. So you have a lot of options with this puzzle, as well as all of the different magnet strengths. Very, very, very customizable. Now, that being said, this cube has a quite unique feel. And out of the box, it's going to be a little bit catchy. You will have to adjust it, I think, to make it better. And it's going to be very, 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 very difficult to slow this cube down. In fact, I have found one lubricant that works to help slow this cube down, because right now I have this on like the tightest settings that it can be. It is still incredibly fast. However, if you go to thecubicle.com, when you get this cube, also pick yourself up some of their new FZ Super Honey lubricant. And what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of that on the inside there on the tracks. Do not put any on the pieces. That's a big no. I made that mistake, and no. And then if you have some FC Rush or something else fast, maybe some DMM, you're going to put like 1 or 2 drops on the pieces. And this cube is going to instantly feel amazing. It's going to be controllable stemming from the inners, but with some speed on the pieces on the outside. And it's going to make for a quite controllable but fast puzzle. And it's going to feel really, really good. I mean, this cube, out of all of the GAN cubes, aside from the 12, this is at the top. I wasn't a fan of the 13, the 14, or the 15, but this is really good. The 16 it's like a whole new breed of GAN 3x3. This Max Maglev cube is pretty solid. I don't main it because there are other puzzles that I like a bit more for 3x3, but if I had to pick a GAN to main, it was either this or the 12. Leaning more towards this. I think this is a good step in the right direction for GAN. I think it is a teeny bit locky for me. I think that that's something maybe they could do when they come out with the GAN 17. Maybe build upon this. I think this was a good change. I, however, think that they need to build upon it a little bit more. Find a way to make it a little less locky. The auto alignment boost that you get from some of these magnets is really nice. It feels like it was a well-designed puzzle. But maybe if they could just make it a little less locky and maybe make it a little bit more responsive to lubricant, because like I said, the only lubricant that I have been able to use that really slows this down and makes it controllable is the FC Super Honey. But is it worth the hefty almost $90 price tag? I'm not sure. Because the Weilong V11 is, I would say, really comparable to this, if not slightly better, and it is half the price. That being said, if you love GAN, you might want to pick one of these bad boys up. It's not a bad puzzle. I think if say you're using the GAN 15, I think you'd like this better. And so maybe you need to get yourself one of these. If you do decide to get one, again, make sure you pick up some FC Super Honey. That stuff is magic in this cube. And use code FATROCK at checkout for 5% off your order. And that really helps me out as well. And you'll enjoy it when it comes. But if you already have the V11 or you don't want to spend that much money, don't. Being completely honest, it's really expensive. But if you do, I don't think that you'll be upset with the puzzle that you receive. I'm going to leave you guys with an average of 5. That is my thoughts. Oh, really quick. Also, the corner cutting is like really good. Like, it's kind of solid, but the auto alignment makes it so you almost don't need to corner cut. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to leave you with an average of 5, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farrak out.